is winning all that matters? Day trading, swing trading, stocks, options, forex, futures, cryptocurrency, is that the only thing that truly matters? And if you're saying, well, yeah, Clay, it's all about winning, I understand your perspective, and I want to just kind of maybe throw some things out there, give you some things to consider. And this came about, and I'm pretty sure I've done videos like this over the years, but I don't know, I've been doing this since 2013. So sometimes I forget what videos I have done and haven't done, but regardless, this is a topic that, I would say it deserves to be talked about every so often because it's a very common thought, but it's a little too simplified, and there's a lots, there's kind of little nooks and crannies within it that, you need to be made aware of. So I got a post on social media from somebody, and Keith says, they said it best in The Fast and Furious. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, winning is winning. And I get what you're saying, Keith, but I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with you. Winning is not winning. Winning is not all that matters. It is how you win that matters. What do I mean? Well, let's just go through this real quick and let me lay out a scenario. So we have Tom. Tom goes out there and, he just boozes it up, right? So he has all sorts of booze. So Tom now all of a sudden becomes like this. He's got the X eyes. He doesn't know what's going on. Tom's a disaster. He goes out there, presses some buttons, says, that looks good. I'm going to go. Okay, buy. Oh, yeah, that looks good. I'm going to sell. And you know what? He makes money, right? Tom wins. Is that like a viable long-term strategy? Of course it's not. Now, I'm being silly. I'm taking something very bizarre, very strange to illustrate the point, though, that it's not the fact that just because you win, hey, that's all that matters. Winning is winning. No. It's got to be, how are you winning? How are you generating that win? In other words, what is the actual, right down here, process, right? What was the process that went into play to create that win? If it was a process filled with bad habits, filled with randomness, filled with just random guesses, then that process, sure, it's going to create wins. And that's the tricky part of the market is the market will gladly give you wins every now and then, even if you behave badly, even if you just gamble, even if you just don't really have a strategy at all, even if you have a terrible process, the market will still give you wins. But that doesn't mean that those wins are actually justifiable. That doesn't mean those wins are actually repeatable or that's going to take place over the long haul. And that's a spot that gets a lot of people messed up and those people, they're not wrong from a rationality standpoint, right? It's a logical thought process to have. I made a trade, I won, therefore I did something right. That's totally valid. That's an extremely rational thought process to have. But welcome to the challenging world of trading where rational thought processes are very deceiving. And in this situation, it can be very deceiving. So what you need to always focus on and why you need to always be on guard, even if you do win, always come back and ask yourself this question, check this box. How was the process? And be honest with yourself. It's okay for I got lucky there. I totally should not have done that. And yeah, it worked out this time, but that wasn't good. That's fantastic that you're being honest with yourself, because guess what? When you're honest with yourself, when you're honest about the process that maybe led to a win, then you can actually fix those problems. You know what you need to focus on in order to make yourself a better trader. But please don't fall into this blanket mentality of, hey, green is green. You can't go broke taking a profit. Winning is winning. Winning's all that matters. Yeah, maybe in that particular trade, but within a grand scope of things, if your process is off, it's not going to end well. You're not going to have consistent wins. And as traders, that's what you should be after. That's what trading is all about. Not winning all the time, of course, not losing all the time, but you want to have consistency. You want to be able to make sure that you have a process that's going to yield you, not necessarily wins, but that's going to yield you risk management. That's going to yield you risk control, which then, within the bigger picture will lead to overall wins. But you can't just look at things from too broad of an aspect of things, or from too broad of a viewpoint, because then you can start to make excuses for yourself. You can start to lie to yourself. You can think you got things figured out. Another way to put it, this can lead to fool's gold, right? where you think you have it all figured out, but then eventually, oh, I guess I didn't have it figured out, because a win is not a win, because yeah, everything I was doing to create those wins, yeah, it just didn't work out. And not only did it not work out, it just crushed all my previous gains. I mean, I've been there before where you're making money and then all of a sudden, just like that, you're like, where'd all my gains go? And they're gone. So just keep that in mind. And Keith, like I said, I get what you're saying. I understand your mentality, but yeah, I would say that it's how you win that matters most. And that's going to make a big difference. One simple word. Well, how are you winning? And that will change everything up. So if you enjoyed this video, a couple quick things. First off, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I don't know, share any experiences you've had. Have you ever had a situation where you're winning and you kind of adopt the mentality, hey, winning's all that matters, but then you ultimately learn the hard way? I mean, like I said, you're not alone. I've done it. And it's just one of those things where it happens way more than I think people probably admit to. So yeah, leave any of those experiences down below. Then also check out the channel as a whole. There's a good variety of videos, live trade videos, other videos like this. So a good variety. And if you like what you see, I'd love to have you hit that subscribe button and become a subscriber of the channel. But yeah, thanks for watching. And remember, get out there. A win is not a win. It is how you win. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.